ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, is the product of cellular respiration and is known as the universal energy currency of cells. ATP is responsible for taking the energy that was stored originally in the food that you ate, that was released by cellular respiration, and then allowing the cell to use that energy in a number of different avenues. So ATP is a temporary mechanism by which the cell stores energy. It takes the energy from food, places it into ATP. ATP then can be sent out to different parts of the cell to accomplish different tasks. So DNA replication, the production of proteins, pumping of ions from one side of the membrane to another are all examples of tasks that are performed as a result of the expenditure of ATP. If we look at the ATP molecule itself, we can see where the energy is stored in the ATP molecule. So looking at the bottom of our slide, we see on the left-hand side of the slide a nitrogenous base, which makes up part of the ATP molecule. We see a sugar, ribose in this case, which makes up part of the ATP molecule. And then we see three phosphate groups, which are actually the important part of the molecule as far as energy storage goes. The phosphate groups are large, bulky groups. They don't like to be bunched tightly together. So I would like you to imagine those phosphate groups as three beach balls that are all aligned into a row there, and we put a rope around those beach balls, and we tie that rope, we cinch it down very tightly, squishing those beach balls together, distorting their normal round shape, and bunching them very closely together. If we were to come along with a pair of scissors and snip that rope, then one of those phosphates would fly away from the others, and releasing energy. And so the beach balls then are representing the phosphates in this particular case. If we snip that rope, the beach balls fly away, and that is exactly what happens in the case of the phosphates. When we come along and snip that last bond, as you can see in the bottom of our slide, we release that one phosphate. It flies away from the others, and we turn the overall molecule from ATP, adenosine triphosphate, into ADP, adenosine diphosphate. And so this process releases energy. What we see on this slide is the following. When we release that one phosphate, that phosphate flies out and is attached to some other molecule that needs energy, an enzyme in this particular case. And so when that phosphate attaches to the other molecule, it supplies energy to that molecule. And we say that that molecule that receives the phosphate is phosphorylated. This means that it's energized, and so it can go out and perform whatever task it needs to perform. If we look then at the far right-hand side of our figure, we see adenosine diphosphate, and so this is the non-energized form of ATP. This will then be taken by the cell, and through the process of cellular respiration, another phosphate will be added to this adenosine diphosphate to regenerate adenosine triphosphate. So to summarize, ATP is a temporary energy storage mechanism that the cell uses. It takes the energy found in food, it places that energy into ATP, and that energy in ATP can go out and accomplish all the different tasks that the cell needs to accomplish.